Hello there, and welcome to today's Daily Dominion, which is base alchemy. We get alchemy a lot with this. I'm sure it's not more than like what's expected necessarily, but it's always a little weird. We're gonna open militia, just start attacking. AI is gonna do it too. Hopefully, we'll be shooting for a sentry. Okay, this is like more of the money than we really want to draw here, but it's fine. Unfortunately, they still hit 5, even though we militia that turn. They go with the witch, which I think is probably not correct. And I also think I don't take, well, maybe one more silver is okay. Now, beyond this, we'll get a second sentry, and then we'll look for markets. And I don't know if we do alchemist and golem yet. Probably. It's the only way to like build big. Okay, this is really nice to find the sentry there. Golem is also the only way to get to play more than one terminal per turn here, and it should work. I mean, Golem always has this problem where if you draw it towards the end of your turn, it doesn't do a lot for you, but it would be nice to play like a artisan or like a bandit on in addition to the militia, maybe even a witch. Here I'm sort of pondering whether we go for the market now or whether we go straight, whether we even try for like a third sentry. But maybe we take a potion here. Definitely, this is a, well, it's not great to trigger without the militia, but it's worth it to try and do the trashing, which we're pretty well, we're doing a decent job there. Maybe a third sentry. Could be a little hard to clean up the last few cards. We may get hit. Okay. This is all good. We can afford the alchemist or the golem, I suppose. Maybe with 4, we just go ahead and go straight for the golem. We got enough actions here. One problem is that eventually you get maybe like a little too thin. Like here. I mean, this is still okay, but this is the kind of thing that I'm talking about. Let's try and draw the potion. Is that we don't really have, we don't have so many actions. Depending on when you draw the golem, you may not hit it. Maybe we get the artisan now, since we do have the golem, and try to play the 2 terminals. One nice thing is that we do have the sentries, so like you can at times know that it's safe to play golem. Or you can also, when you play sentry early in the turn, if you don't have golem yet, you might choose to discard actions or something to move along. So this is pretty nice. We get to gain market, and then I don't know here. I don't really want silvers. We're not quite to like a nice price point. Like 9p is a nice price point. Maybe we just do a golem. Okay. So this is safe to play golem here because we're holding one of the terminals. At some point we may get enough golems and terminals that there are some golem plays that hold some risk. But for now we're okay. Well, okay. Let's just leave the golem and the curse on top, I guess. In a market here. We did get to 9p, which is, like I said, nice. Or like even 8p is nice. Let's try and add a little money with the bandit. This is gonna be like so tough for the actually, let's discard the bandit as well. We're gonna try and play the golem. You can also use artisan to do some nice trickery. Like we can gain now that we hit, because this golem hit 2 cantrips, we had a spare action, so we can put a market on top with this artisan, and then we get to play it this turn. We don't quite have enough draw. We still would love, of course, to trash the curse and the copper. We don't particularly have a way to control that. We're pretty much just at the whims of the shuffles there. But the do we want another golem, or do we just take the alchemist? I think I'm good on terminals now. I don't really feel like we need to do the witch stuff as well. I mean, we could play with all the attacks. Yeah, sure, why not? They've only played their witch 3 times in all this turns, which is a little crazy. I guess you top deck the alchemist. There's some I guess potential bad aspects to that. Let's discard both of those, actually. Okay. So again, we only have, we're going to hit, the copper is, no, the copper and the curse are both in there. So, okay. We'll just play this. This is relatively safe. I don't know that we're not going to end up with enough. We're not going to end up with enough. We can't draw. There aren't actions left, so that we aren't going to have enough actions to play the one of the. It's either we draw. Well, I don't know which one's actually better to play. Maybe we hold off on the bandit for now, just because we did end up top decking a golem, which was pretty lucky. Actually, quite lucky. I think we just keep building. There's not really any reason not to. The score is, we're only losing by 2 points, and obviously the decks are not remotely close. We're gonna play the sentry here first. Actually, this helps a little bit too, potentially. And then as long as this, okay, as long as we see 1 cantrip here, we'll just go ahead and play this golem. Okay, and we can just play the golem now, like there's no risk. And we'll just get sentries, they don't matter, but they not technically, they do help the I don't know if there are 2. Yeah, there are. Okay, that's good. See, so now we have enough to play the witch, draw everything, play all the attacks. So that was basically as good of a turn as we can really ever expect to get here. And then the question again is always like, where should the balance lie between golems and alchemists? But we'll just go ahead and start. kicking away at these a little bit. We could just work towards a 3 pile also, but yeah, it does get to province that time. See, this is where it's not really safe, but it's pretty unlikely. But I'll just go ahead and go until I can at least find a sentry and know that it's safe. And then at that point, you can just play the golem. If you hit the double cantrip off your first golem, then you can play the other ones without fear. So we can get this should. Oh, I thought there was another. I thought there's another curse in here. There it is. So we make a little more money because we have the gold, but it's just double again. And if we draw next turn, then we can triple. We don't even have to, so we'll get to double probably pretty easily. Okay. Try and find. This is a fair bit of the yeah, I'm gonna play this early and toss the market just so that there's some actions in the discard for the last golem. There's still militia and market, right? So and even a sentry. Oh, whatever. These can stay. I don't know. We don't have enough draw now to draw the gold from the bandit, but this was played in the wrong order, but we already have double, so we could have got another $1. Which it doesn't look like it would have netted us any VP. All right, well, there we go. It's just, you know, trashing's good. It is kind of funny to me which trashing cards the AIs play with and which one it doesn't. Because Sentry, you'd think on some 5-2s it would discover. I guess it buys Sentry sometimes, but doesn't buy it over which is pretty awful. Anyway, Golem did some nice stuff. Golem is a card I tend to hate, but it was pretty good here, and Sentry especially smoothed it out a lot. And there was, you know, no other village. I think if there's a real village, like or a normal village here, I probably just buy alchemists. But even in that case, some golems would be okay. I mean, if you can get them to hit, then they're better than alchemist. Well, except for the top decking part, but you know what I mean. All right, well, that's the game. Not close, but a good little engine. So, hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you all tomorrow.